All right, first and foremost, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking some time today to learn some really cool stuff that's going to help you. I'm going to kind of give you the overlay of this webinar real quick. First thing that I want you to know is that I'm not selling anything. There's not going to be anything for sale during this webinar. I'm not going to give you a sales pitch or any of that stuff. There's nothing for sale, so you can totally let your guard down and just know that I'm this weird guy that's going to give you a ton of information that you can put into action as soon as you get off of this webinar today and make money, attract real estate agents and investors immediately. So with that in mind, I just want to take the ease of like waiting for the sales pitch or what's in it for me. Trust me, there's a lot in it for me as well. I'm going to record this and use it over again, so I might as well record it with the live audience as well. So with that in mind, before I jump into everything here, I'd like to give you just a little bit of background. I looked through the list of people that registered for this webinar, and a lot of the email addresses I did not recognize, so I just would like to introduce myself to you real quick because I think it's important that you understand who you're talking to as a leader and what qualifies that person to be an expert and get up here and give you this information. So I was a loan officer. Yes, I was one of you. And if you're not a loan officer, you shouldn't be on this. This is a secret loan officer meeting here. And I was a loan officer for 8 or so years, and the last year that I originated mortgages was 2010, and the last full year that I actually originated any mortgages was 2009, which is historically known as one of the worst, if not the worst, year ever in the mortgage market. And it was a very tough year. A lot of, the FHA 100% down payments and subprime and everything else went away. They started requiring 4506. HBCC came into play, and there was a mass exodus from the industry, and I stuck through there. And in the year 2009, which was my last full year to originate, I closed 163 loans, still in the worst year ever, and that was my worst year originating. I had built quite a bit of business and a multiple six-figure a year income as a loan officer. And the way that I did that was because my unique selling proposition was to help agents get more properties and help them sell their properties faster. In exchange for that, they gave me their undying loyalty. And I worked with just a handful. I wasn't one of those people that had 50 different realtors that I worked with. I worked with 5 or 6 realtors only, and they were like SEAL Team 6, and they were all selling 10 to 12 homes a month, and I got to crack at as many of them as I could every single month. And I'm going to teach you some of the things that you can do in your business right now to duplicate what I did and to offer that value to the real estate agents and the investors that you know, to where they continually come to you and pledge their undying loyalty to you, the loan officer. So what's even cooler is when I left the mortgage industry in 2010, I left because I had a personal meltdown. I was so mad at my boss because the fact that the underwriting guidelines they were so tight, and I had like a personal meltdown, and it was like, you know what? Screw you guys, I'm leaving. I even pulled a Jerry Maguire. Who's going with me? And 5 people left with me, and they're like, hey, what do we do? I was like, I don't know. I don't want to be a loan officer anymore. And so I had obviously been really successful as a loan officer. I had a large amount of money saved up, so I got to take a little bit of time and go through, what some people would go back to college. I went and bought info products because that's what's always worked for me in my life. And I did a little bit of studying, and the long story short is I realized that I liked helping agents. I liked working with real estate agents. That's what I did as a loan officer. That was one of the reasons I quit being a loan officer, because I wasn't able to play golf with them and hang out with them and really kindle the relationships and help those 5 realtors. So actually the 5 realtors that I work with hired me to help them with their marketing, and the rest has been kind of history. So for the last 2.5 years, I've been speaking to different real estate offices. I'm pretty popular among the brokers. A lot of agents aren't really familiar with who I am, but in last year, about June, in 2012, in June, I met a gentleman named Chris Weaver. Chris is an interesting fella. He holds the record, you can look it up on NAR, for the most homes ever sold by a rookie agent solo without a team ever in the history of real estate. And it's like $100 million and some change. And in his story is he sold $100 million his first 12 months, $180 million his first 18 months, and then turned around, bought the brokerage that he worked for. And this is the guy that he went and got his real estate license because he couldn't get an agent to answer from the phones when he was calling from signs trying to move to Florida. So he got his license and moved down there, took over the market, sold his office, and then recruited, multiple thousands of agents into different real estate firms. So guess what? This guy's my best friend, right? We got to meet a year ago. We started a business together, and he's given me the inside pass to be able to talk to brokers. So for the last like 8 or 9 months, we've been traveling around the U.S. We've been to Hawaii, San Francisco, Baltimore, D.C. We're headed to New Jersey here in 2 weeks, and we actually go and train real estate brokers on what they should be doing to market their business effectively using free mediums like videos, social media, and things like that. So what I'm going to share with you today in this webinar is going to be able to get you in with the agents immediately, because guess what? Their bosses, the brokers, are doing the things that we're telling them to do, and we're in the ears of a lot of the companies that are out there. We've got a lot of the top agents here in several different marketplaces across the U.S. that are our personal clients that are implementing the things that we're telling them. So the things that I'm going to share with you today from a loan officer perspective is going to be like, just think of me as the person that's infiltrated the other side. Hey, I was a loan officer, so you know my thoughts and feelings on the real estate side. I'm on team loan officer. I believe firmly that the money man is the most important person in the whole mortgage transaction. Everybody else is irrelevant, because if the loan officer don't make the thing happen, it ain't going to happen unless you got cash money, right? And who has that? Let's just get real. So I believe that, right? So think of me as one of y'all that's actually infiltrated the other side, but infiltrated the other side on a very high level to where it's trickling down. So I'm going to share with you the things that I'm teaching brokers, and that brokers are paying me and my business partner to go out and teach them, and paying very stiff amounts of money, large amounts of money that they're paying us to go out there and train these brokers. And I'm going to tell you how you can fit in with their marketing process in a totally RESPA compliant way and get a bunch of business from them. So if you're ready for that, stick with me. We're going to get into that. If you are not ready for that, you probably shouldn't be on the call. So here we go. Real quick before I jump into this, let me check on something here and make sure my PowerPoint works. Bam. I've been traveling around, like I said, the United States for the last few years, and I've been teaching, I've been giving this speech and opening up a lot of my, or almost every one of my speaking engagements, giving this speech that I call the evolution of communication. And just a side note, I plagiarized 99% of it from Chris Weaver, but I don't care if he knows that or not. So, but the truth is, I've been giving this speech all over to agents, and I'm going to give it to you for the first time with an added component to it. So this will be the first live audience that's ever hearing this speech that I'm about to give you. It's going to really open your eyes to some stuff, but it's the first time that you're ever going to hear the next level of what we're doing, and that's why I'm excited that you're on here today. So the evolution of communication works like this. Back in the 80s, which is all I know, I was born in 79. So back in the 80s, cell phones arrived on the scene at one point or another, and even though they were 15-pound weights that you carried in a bag and you looked like one of the guys in the field from MASH, the truth is people said things like, well, my cell phone number is strictly for my friends and family. I don't want, clients or telemarketers or whatever the case may be to get in touch with me. This phone's for my friends and family and emergencies only. And just a side note, if you haven't noticed, I have ADD, but more importantly, I may stop from time to time to blow my nose or grab a drink. My allergies are absolutely killing me today, y'all, and I apologize for that in advance. I'll make sure that I mute the phone when I do that, but I just want to give you the heads up. So if you hear me pause, it's probably what I'm doing. So back to the story. And so people said, well, I don't want to share my cell phone number with anybody other than my friends and family. But then there was good people like us that are on this webinar right now that are real salespeople, real sales warriors, as I like to call ourselves. And we said, you know what? I'm going to give my cell phone number to anybody who wants it. Because if someone wants to get in touch with me and put $1 in my pocket and I can provide a service for them and make some money, I'm all about that. I want my clients to have access to me, and I'm going to deliver service above and beyond. And so the people that didn't originally want to give their phone numbers out, I mean, these days, if you don't give somebody your cell phone, if you don't give a client your cell phone, they don't trust you. And so those that didn't do it in the beginning were forced to follow in the end. The second part of the evolution of communication, at least during my lifetime, was email addresses showed up in the 90s. And people said the same darn things. They said, well, my email's for my friends and family. I don't want to just give my email out. I mean, hell, I might get an email from somebody from Nigeria asking me for, to wire them money. Or what if I get a porn deal or Viagra or Cialis or something like that? What if my wife thinks I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, or my husband? It's all BS, right? But then smart salespeople like you and I Because you know what? Craziest thing, I'm going to put my cell phone number next to my email address on this thing called a website. That way anybody in the wide, wide world of the interwebs can reach out to me, find me, reach me 24 hours a day, put money in my pocket, and I can provide a service level above and beyond any of my competitors. And those that didn't do that in the beginning were once again forced to follow suit. We'll even talk about 2005, maybe even a little bit earlier for some of you that are cooler than me. But text messages arrived on the scene, and people said the same thing. They said, well, I'm not going to learn to text. That's just a fact. If somebody wants to talk to me, they call me like a man, right? Right? Don't even act like some of you on this webinar right now did not even say that. You know that is the case. And the truth is, if you don't know how to text message now, you're just out of date. My father-in-law, 73 years old, he'd kill me if he heard me say that in front of a live audience, but he can even text message. So what's your excuse if you don't do it? But what's funny is we resist new forms of communication. However, they've been developed out of need. Nobody developed text message because they said, hey, we should just make another form of complicated way to communicate with people that's outside the norm. No, they said, hey, look, we can cut down on airtime on phone calls. We can have 2-second reading sessions of a text, and that'll cut down a 30-minute phone call session. And it's true. If I have to text you, I'm going to send you a lot less bullshit and sales pitches directly than I would if I was to keep you on the phone forever. And the same with you, because we're all salesmen. We can agree on that on this phone call. So let me ask you a question if you're one of these people. Right now, people are saying that Facebook, and let's just stick with Facebook. People are saying Facebook is a place for my friends and family. Even though I've gotten a client or two from it or a lead or two from it, I don't want to use it to market. I don't want to make people mad. Facebook's a place for my friends and family. I don't want to give my Facebook to my clients. I don't want my clients to know what I'm up to, and you are no different than the person that resisted the cell phone. You're no different than the person that resisted the email. You're no different than the dude that said he didn't want to learn how to text message, because Facebook is here. And not only is Facebook here, Facebook has an app that you can get on your cell phone, right, which almost everybody on this call right now came in through a social media outlet. That's how you found this webinar. So there's an app you can get on your phone for Facebook that will actually allow you to send audio messages and have a video chat similar to FaceTime on Facebook's dime, even make phone calls without it counting towards your minute on the phone. So what Facebook's done is they've said, listen, the phone is archaic. Nobody answers the phone unless they have the number programmed into the phone, unless they feel like talking to you at that minute. So a lot of salespeople are told to go out and make 100 phone calls to actually make contacts with 5 people and actually make one sale, right? Well, I would rather just reach out to that one person out of 100 and say, hey, you want to buy something, you want to buy it from me, and not waste my time with the other 99. And that's what Facebook allows you to do. Facebook is email, chat, video, audio, phone calls, text messages, and social media all wrapped up into one. So if you're sitting on this right now and you thought, well, my Facebook shouldn't be public and my Facebook is for my friends and family only, you will get left behind, not by my clients, but by clients of people I know, and the people are going to be industry leaders that are doing this stuff right now. You will be left behind, just as if you didn't embrace sharing your cell phone number or sharing your email or sharing or learning text messages. So I've given that speech, like I said, across the country in front of a lot of different brokers, and it really hits home and it puts it in a perspective. But I'm going to take it to a new level for the first time ever in front of a large audience, and I'm really going to twist the knife. And if you can't tell, I get a little passionate about this stuff, right? Because I really believe this, man. I'm one of y'all. The truth is, the next evolution of communication is video. And if you're not doing video, you will get left behind. Right now, there is, for every hour in the day, there's 32 hours of video being uploaded to YouTube alone. That's not counting Vimeo and the gazillion other video sites that are out there like TechSmith and so on and so forth. That's just YouTube alone. Video is in such demand right now that YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world, and videos have so much SEO that Google is actually looking for videos to put on the front page, because the front page of Google works real simple. And I'll get to that later. And I'll tell you exactly what the 4 pieces to the front page of Google is and how easy it is to get there. Now, understanding that video is the next step in the evolution of communication, and that video is the wave of the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some simple facts about video. I'm going to remove every excuse that you have in your head right now why you're not doing video, and I'm going to tell you every reason why you should do it and why if you don't do it, you're going to be left behind. So let's jump on to the news section. You see, I have this fancy PowerPoint in all reality that my lovely assistant designed for me. And she comes in here this morning. She's like, you're going to love this PowerPoint. And then it crashed. Her computer crashed. So we're waiting on the tech guy to get it back up. So this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. So video is the #1 most influential way of communicating ever. And if you don't believe me, let me give you a simple everyday life pragmatic application that I can give you, right? So if you go home today and you watch, let's say, 2.5 Men on TV, and it's the first time you've ever seen that show ever, and you spend 23 minutes of your time watching Charlie and Alan and the kid Jake do their thing, and you laugh, and then tomorrow when you come home, you watch 2.5 Men for the second time that you've ever seen it, right? Let's just pretend you've never seen the show except for one time, and you show up the same time tomorrow and you realize it's on TV again, and you sit down, the first thing you're going to do is go, man, Charlie and Alan, they're such a riot, right? Or unless you're like me, you'd be like, Charlie's such a douche, right? But whatever the case. And I keep it real on webinars, y'all. This is supposed to be entertaining and real, so we're all adults here. But the truth of the matter is you get that familiarity sense with them, even though you've only known them, and you don't even know them, but even though you've only seen them for like 23 minutes. And the very next time that you sit down in front of that video again, it's not because they're good actors, which helps. It's not because they're good looking. After all, look at Jake and Alan. And Berta, for Pete's sake. It's the fact that they're on video. And ever since we were little, we've been sat in front of the TV or the video or the DVD machine, or in my case, the 8-track player with the laser disc, right? Back when my parents showed on the backs of dinosaurs. So we've been sat in front of these video devices and been said, hey, listen, whoever's on video is cool. They're a 40. They're a celebrity. You should pay attention to them. And we've grown up our whole lives subconsciously programmed to respect and have admiration and leadership for people on video. And the reason, and that holds true because crummy videos on YouTube are viewed 3-to-1. And it's not because there's more of them. That's taken in the time that they spend on them, the thoroughness of they watch them. It's because people respect people who do videos. So video is the #1 most influential way of communicating. So that's what we're going to do starting today. You're going to communicate doing videos. But before I explain to you what videos to make and all that, I'm going to give you why you should make videos. I'm going to take away every excuse you have, and I'm going to give you every reason why. And that first reason is for legacy. And again, let me tell you a story. My great-grandfather, his name is Dick McCord. I never met him. He died in 76. I was born in 79, as I said earlier. But I hear great stories about how he was this awesome business person and he did all these great things for a neighborhood. And he was like, a cowboy, a real cowboy. Rode his horse to town. I'm from Dallas, Texas, by the way. He rode his horse to town. He was all things. He was so manly. And my father and my grandfather, they talk great things about him. They say he was awesome. But all I have to remember this guy by is a picture where he's not smiling. It's black and white, and he has a cowboy hat and a mustache because he didn't allow for a lot of photographs to be taken of him. He was a man's man, right? I don't get to see his personality. I don't get to see if he's like me or maybe some of the weird habits and traits that I have that I inherited from him. I don't get to see what kind of stuff he really did because he didn't have a chance to video it and show the outreach that he did for his neighborhood. My great-grandkids, my son who's 17 months old, and his kids, they'll never be able to see my legendary grandfather, Dick McCord, and it's sad. So the biggest reason I started making videos was in 2010 because eventually I wanted to have a kid who I do now have a 17-month-old son, and one day I want him to look back and his kids to look back when I'm no longer alive and be able to say, hey, you know what, that's my grandpa. Hey, that's my great-grandpa. Or, hey, kids, come look at your grandpa. He's a bumbling idiot. Listen to him. He cussed. He acted like a fool. He went out on all these rants, but the fact is he did something. And they'll know who I was, whether they laugh at me, whether they think I'm stupid, or whether they're like, oh, my God, they dress like that in 2013, right? Whatever the case may be then, they still have a sense to get to know who I was, to see that I had some hustle in me, to see that I had some emotion. It doesn't matter if I'm fat, if I'm ugly, or any of that. It's the fact that my legacy will be out there via video forever. Surely if we can hold a photograph from the 1800s that's black and white, then surely YouTube and video will be out there forever. The next thing is longevity. See, with video, it's one and done. Once you do it once, you don't ever have to do it again. So you can say something once, and I'm going to give you some scripts here to that in a minute. I'm going to give you some real stuff through this webinar today. And believe it or not, in the next 40 minutes. But longevity, it's out there forever. The things that you find yourself repeating, you can put them on video, and you don't have to say it anymore. The things that you find yourself doing over and over and over again, or the tech support things that you find yourself doing over and over again, or showing people where to sign, put that on video. Get it out there. Don't say it. Don't waste your time doing it anymore. Instead of spending 5 minutes calling somebody, 10 minutes explaining it, and then 5 minutes getting your psychological powers back together to go make the next phone call, shoot it on a video and send it out every time from there on out. That's longevity. That makes your life easier. The third reason is SEO. Unless you're hiding in a rock for the last 20 years like the guys in the Geico commercial, you know what SEO is. SEO, search engine optimization. And like I said, YouTube is owned by Google. And YouTube translates every single video, the audio that's on the video, so that they can actually use your words that you talk in the videos for SEO purposes. Now, if you look at the front page of Google, there's 4 things you'll find. You'll find a news story, you'll find a video, you'll find images, and you'll find blogs. News story, video, images, and blogs. That's what consists of the front page of Google. That's what this panda or penguin or whatever they call it thing has done, and that's how it's composed of. Wouldn't you like to have that video spot? Matter of fact, if you Google just about anything video, if it exists for that niche that you Googled, that keyword term, video is one of the first things that shows up. So we got those 3, and the last reason why you want to do video is because it creates the familiarity that I was telling you about, the 2.5 Men, your news. You know, if you move, many of us have moved from one state to another, one part of the U.S., one country. You get accustomed to your hometown news channel. You know, here in Dallas, it's Fox 4 News, or it's NBC 5. And you get accustomed with those. But if I was to move to Chicago tomorrow, I'd get used within a couple of days to watching the new news crew, right? I'd go from Becky Oliver to Brandon Thomas, and it'd be whatever. And within a week, I feel like I knew Brandon. It's not because Brandon's the world's greatest news anchor. It's simply because he's on video creating familiarity. See, it's a psychological, influential, basic part of our brain. It's because, like I said, we've been trained all of our lives. So I want you to think about that. If you're thinking, hey, I've got old lady arms, or hey, I'm fat, hey, I'm ugly, hey, I have gray hair, hey, I'm bald, hey, I have no personality. All of those are lies, first of all. Each and every one of you are beautiful in your own way, or people wouldn't be doing business with you and you wouldn't be here on earth. Okay? So respect yourself enough to get out there and video. And here's the other thing, and I'm just going to say this because y'all can laugh, and I'm probably going to cuss a little bit when I say this too, so just fair warning. But if you're one of those people who has a business card or a sign, if you're a real estate agent and you snuck in on this call, you sneaky suckers you, or a sign in the yard that has a picture of you, or a website that has a picture of you, or your Facebook profile, and that picture is 10 years old and you weigh 50 more pounds than you did in it, and you have gray hair now, you're an asshole. And you're an asshole for this reason. People show up and meet you in person and are like, the first thing, whether you think you can live in La La Land all your life, but the first thing they think when they see you is, oh, crap, that is not what he or she looked like in their picture. That is, are you our real estate agent? Are you our loan officer? It is just wrong and it's deceiving. And what happens when you do that, right? And this might strike home for some of you, and I don't care. But what happens when you do that is you teach your clients not to trust you because you lied to them from the get-go. You told them you looked a certain way and your appearance was a certain way, and then when you showed up, it wasn't that way. So they're like, well, what else? Psychologically, you don't have to have it in the front of your mind. Psychologically, they say, well, what else have we been misled by this person for? So if those are your excuses for not doing video, get over yourself. You're beautiful in every way. Stop, be authentic, and stop lying and pretending that you look or act or talk a certain way, and be authentic and get in video. I think that's why video is the next step of the evolution, because you can't lie to me through video. I can see your eyes, I can see your body language, I can see everything. And I think that's why people are doing that. And if you'll notice, a lot more of the photo and video social media sites are growing. So now that I've got that ran out of the way and I warned you, don't say I didn't warn you, I'm going to talk about what type of videos should you make. Now, this is where the real training gets in, and we're right on time. We're at the halfway point, so perfect. So what type of videos should you make? Well, you should make real-life videos. I'm going to give you something. If you don't have a notepad or pen or iPad, Word doc, whatever, for you new school, old school people, right now is about the time you should get that out, because right now I'm going to tell you something that you can do immediately when you get off this webinar to go make money. How about that? So the first thing is real-life videos. On a real-life video, Here's how you can make your best real-life video, and you can work your way into an agent's heart and seduce them to give you their undying loyalty forever just by doing this next step. So a real-life story works like this. Then you have an agent that you've been prospecting for a while, that you want to do business with, and that you've had your eyes on. You know they're qualified. You know they do business. They're the real deal. And you've been trying to figure out a way to get in front of them because you know that just dropping off a rate sheet will never work these days, and that you don't have anything super value other than great programs to offer them, but every other loan officer says the same thing, so there's nothing that you can really do to stand out, but you know you want to do business with them, and you know that you're a perfect personality match for them. Well, here's what you do. Oh, well, first of all, let me take a step back. For you loan officers, until I was in the real estate agent side of this business, I never realized that we should have, as loan officers, all be going after listing agents. We should be doing we've always been taught by our brokers and sales managers that we need to chase buyer's agents because they have the buyers. No, sir. You need to always be chasing listing agents, and I'm going to give you this right now. It's just one of a million reasons I could give you of why you should be focusing 100% of your time on listing agents when you're prospecting agents. So that real life video works like this. You call the agent up and you say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, my name's Ryan Stuman. I'm a video expert, and I know that you do a lot of business and that you're a very high-level real estate agent. And what I'd like to do is go with you on your next listing appointment to not only ensure that you're going to get the listing appointment, but I'd like to video you showing the house, and then we'll put it on YouTube and share it through social media, and we'll probably get thousands of views and maybe even sell the home because of it. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Oh, by the way, this service is absolutely free. Well, who wouldn't be interested in that, first of all? Second of all, you haven't mentioned anything about mortgages. Third of all, you're appealing to the real estate inner narcissist. Oh, yeah, he's going to do something for me? Good. It's about time somebody does something for me. I worked so hard. So here's the key. You get to meet at their office and ride to the listing appointment together. They may not have a listing appointment right then, but you say, make sure you call me. I will do all of this for free for you. No strings attached. I just want to try this thing out with your next listing appointment. Okay. So when that person gets that listing appointment, when the agent gets the listing appointment, you ask them to meet them at their office or somewhere else so that you can ride in their car or they can ride in your car together. And the reason why is when you get in that car with them, you're not going to talk about your programs and FHA and how great your life is and how awesome you are, because nobody gives two shit, especially agents. But the truth is agents love to talk about how great they are and how many deals they've sold and how their kids are. So your job when you get in that car with them is to listen, to repeat exactly what they say. When they tell you that their kids, Ricky, Bobby, and Johnny, are all doing great in school, you go, that's awesome that Ricky, Johnny, and Bobby are doing great in school. You show them that you're listening to them. Show them that you care, because 99% of the people coming at agents right now don't give a shit about an agent. And the agents know that, and they can smell it a mile away. And you are no different if you're just trying to approach agents with rate sheets and stuff. However, if you actually show them that you have an empathetic ear to their cares, it's a little different. So you make sure you spend that time in the car ride with them. Then when you get to the listing appointment, you do the talking for the homeowner. You say, hey, listen, you know, you guys are so lucky you're about to hire Ryan Stuman, the coldest real estate agent in the whole entire planet. You guys are super lucky. And what I've done is, just because I'm a big fan of Ryan's work and I want to help him with his marketing, is I'm going to follow you around as you guys give us some heartfelt stories and a tour of the house real quick. We're going to put it on YouTube, probably get thousands of views, maybe even sell your house. What homeowner is going to deny that to? Oh, I don't have my makeup on. Oh, don't worry, I'm just going to shoot the back of your head anyway. You just walk into the rooms and tell the stories. Well, what kind of story should I tell? Tell us a story about something that happened to your kid, or something. Maybe you had a life, maybe you gave birth in the bathroom in here, or maybe your boy knocked his tooth out in the kitchen, or maybe your dogs got free, or you had to bury him in the backyard. Tell us a heartfelt story. What year did you move in the house? Those kind of things. And you let them start touring the house, and they'll say things in the beginning like, in this room, this is our kitchen. We've got granite countertops and wood floors. And it's your job as a camera person to go, well, what year did you remodel this? When we bought it, it had piss green cabinets, and we remodeled it 2 years after we bought it, when we saved up enough money to change it from piss green to the nice walnut wood that you see now. And okay, great, right? You go in the living room, you might find yourself in a situation where a house has pink carpet or pink walls and blue carpet. And you might say, holy crap, what are you thinking? You have pink walls and blue carpet in this house. Please explain what your thoughts were on this room. Well, When we moved in here, we knew that I was pregnant, and I wasn't sure if we were going to have a boy or a girl. And so my husband was he's in the construction business. So as a joke, I came home one day and him and his crew had painted the whole house pink and then laid blue carpet and said, we'll figure out which one we're going to stick with after we have the kid. A month later, we found out that I was pregnant with twins, one boy, one girl, and it's just been sentimental value, and our friends think it's funny. But, you know, we're more than happy to allow a paint and carpet allowance. We're fully aware that that's going to need to be changed out when we sell this house. So for those of you watching this video, don't worry, we will give an allowance on that. And you go through and you finish the tour. And at the end of the tour, you say, and by the way, I just want to let you know from the loan officer perspective, you say, and by the way, I just want to let you know that Ryan Stewman is the greatest real estate agent in the entire world, and he does things like this for his clients. He captures emotional moments because we know that's what really sells houses. If you want Ryan to list your house or come do a video like this of your house, then you need to get in touch with him at the number below. And then you leave a little call out on YouTube with the agent's number. Well, guess what's happening? You've got a video. So the way to get that video seen is you got to put a good headline on it. A good headline for something like that may be pink carpet and blue, or blue carpet and pink walls. WTF was this homeowner thinking? People will click on that. And guess what? That's called a viral video, ladies and gentlemen. People will click on that. Excuse me, I warned you about the allergy thing. But people will click on that, and so will your agent. And your agent will share it, and the other agents in the office will watch it and laugh and think it's funny. The homeowner will share it and watch it and think that it's funny. And they'll share it with their friends. And guess what? When the homeowner shares it with their friends, that's getting PR and marketing for not only you but the agent. But also think about this. While you're touring the house, you have the ability to tell the homeowner, hey, just by the way, I don't just make videos. I'm Ryan Stewman's loan officer. And, you know, you're selling your house. I don't know if you're buying another one or not, but here's my card. I'd love to be able to help you just like I'm helping Ryan film your house here. That, my friends, is for another webinar, but that's called the law of reciprocity. So I've given you a chance to build bonding and trust with a realtor in the car ride, and then build bonding and trust and prospect the agent, while not only getting your name out there in front of thousands of people on social media because you made a video. All for free. None of this has cost you a dime yet. Did I just sound like Mickey Mouse? Did I? Lindsay's in here with me. Yeah, okay. I thought I did. It's like, okay, sorry about that. The next thing you want to do is time frame videos. Time frame is going to take a little bit less for me to explain. So really easy. I know, and I've proven time and time again with my clients, that there's 6 steps through the mortgage process. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about the first step in the mortgage process and how you can use video to free it up. Can't give you all the information, ladies and gentlemen. Can't give it all to you for free. But I can give you a big, big chunk. And we still got 20 minutes to go. Maybe we'll run a little bit over. But the time frame vids work like this. So when someone goes and they apply for a mortgage on your website, and then their application is submitted to you, the first thing that you need to do is reach out to them, introduce yourself to them, and tell them what papers that you need to get, right? Well, you may have to call that person 5 times. You may have to send them 2 emails. They may have gone to Bankrate. They may have gone to Lending Tree. There's no telling. They may have 2 or 3 other lenders that they're working with. They get you confused in the mess. Here's how you stand out. Here's how you free up your time, and here's how you never have to make those phone calls again. You make you a video one time, one and done. Don't use anybody's name. The video script works exactly like this. If you got pen and paper, I suggest you get it out now, and I talk fast. The video script works like this. Hey, thank you so much for going online and applying for a mortgage with me. I'm Ryan Stewman. I just wanted to shoot this video for you so that you can put a name with the face and understand exactly who it is and what I look like and everything, so while we're dealing with each other. And here's how this whole process will work. Attached to the email that you got this video along with, there's a list of documents that I'm going to need from you. Go ahead and fax all those over, and the sooner you get them to me, the sooner we can get your loan into the next step of the assembly line, which is our processing department. As soon as I get all that back from you and signatures and everything else, your loan will be sent to the processing department, and you will get a video similar to this one telling you each step. There are 6 of them, by the way, each step that you will be going through. So it's important, and each step that you're in during the mortgage process, so it's important that you check every one of my emails and watch every one of my videos, because when I send you a video, they're made specifically for you to let you know exactly what's going on with your loan. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm a little long-winded, but you can do that in 20 seconds or less. And what that does is several things. Okay, A, we've created familiarity with our clients, right? Because we're on video. By the time they get the second video in the process, they'll be like, oh, it's Charlie and Alan and Jake, right? Okay, we've already talked about that. The second thing that it's going to do, besides creating the familiarity, is it stood you out from the competition. All the other loan officers are sending emails and phone calls. And by the way, I highly recommend you using text. That's what people prefer anyway. Why call people? Just text them. But you've sent a video out and put a name with the face, someone they can trust, someone that's innovative and outside of the box. And lastly, you've programmed them to check your emails and look for future videos from you so that you get more counts on YouTube, more SEO, and more importantly, you program them to watch your videos, because the more they watch your videos, the more they trust and bond with you. And the last video you want to make is anything other than industry news, because I'll be honest with you guys, nobody cares what the interest rates are. They're low. They've been low. They've been low since I quit the mortgage business in 2010. It's 2013. It's old news. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that PMI is going up unless they're buying a house right this second. And for the new strategy, there's companies out there like Think Big, Work Small that already have it covered. And they bring information to loan officers, not the general public, because the general public doesn't care. And your target audience and your target client as a loan officer is not other loan officers. See, the TBWS guys are affiliate marketers. They sell to loan officers. See, you're an actual loan officer. So you sell to the client. You sell to the end customer. The end customer could give a shit about what the current market conditions or what the mortgage bond report is. Nobody cares. That's boring stuff. See, and I'm going to tell you this. I didn't know this until I infiltrated the other side. But, you know, as a loan officer, we go and we fight underwriters. We're warriors. We fight underwriters. We fight appraisers. We tell HUD title companies to kiss our asses that they better close on time or we'll come down there and put our foot up their asses. We're not scared to tell home inspectors that you better take that stupid termite inspection where the tree is barely touching the house and get that off of my stupid inspection. They don't, our customers and clients and real estate agents don't see that we go and we fight for them, that we are true warriors. Because if we turn around and we said, hey, Lindsay, you're lucky because you were about 3 seconds away from being homeless until I went to go fight with my underwriter. Or if you told a realtor that, they'd be like, I didn't realize how close I was to losing, this deal working with this loan officer. I can't trust this underwriter. I can't trust him. You see? That's a big deal. But we can't tell our people that. So the way that people view us is pencil-pushing bank tellers. Really and truthfully, I thought, man, I'm this salesman, I'm this really cool loan officer, and when I talk to real estate agents, they're like, well, you're just pencil-pushing bank tellers. That's all you guys are. But here's the real truth, and I think I said this a while ago. The money man is the most important man in the whole equation, because if you ain't got cash and you ain't got a loan officer, you ain't getting a house. So, but we understand that because we're insiders and we know what it works like, and we know that we know more about contracts than real estate agents and builders, and we know that we know more about loan programs than anybody else on the planet, but people don't view us that way. So the reason why I say that is for that reason, people do not care about industry news. And a matter of fact, there's so many of you out there sending industry news out that if they want it from somewhere, they'll get it from somewhere. But it's boring, it's unengaging, and it doesn't work. So I encourage you to make anything but industry news. You got it? So on to the next one. Uh-oh. There we go. Gotta love technology. So I know you're asking a couple questions in your mind, like, how do I communicate using video? Well, let me tell you a little about something called the 7-touch rule. I am in the direct response marketing business. I have been, I guess, all my life, but truthfully, via the internet and direct mail since 2010, obviously. And there's this 7-touch rule. It says that on average you need 5 to 9 touches to somebody. Touching, no, get out of your mind. Not like that. Like communications. For example, if you send somebody a letter in the mail that gives them an offer, the first time they see it, they're most likely to go, okay, that's cool, throw it away. Same with email. First time, they're probably just going to delete it. The second time, probably the same thing's going to happen. But the 5th to 7th to 9th time, magic happens. They've seen your brand enough. They've seen your face enough to where there's this mental shift to where they get used to seeing it. Oh, it's another card from Ryan. How cool. Oh, it's another email from Ryan. I'll give the guy a chance. He sent me 10. I'll look at it. So that 7-touch rule, But it's really expensive if you're doing radio ads, TV ads, pay-per-click, email marketing. I mean, all that stuff is really expensive because, especially direct mail, because you have to pay 7 different times to get in front of somebody on the chance that they saw you all 7 times and that you created that familiarity you need to get within their within their mind. I sound like Porky Pig for a second, right? But that 7 touches is what it takes. Well, the cool thing about video is you can pass those 7 touches in 2. The first video creates interest and desire. And this is just the normal, you can look it up, the normal evolution of how we look at video. The first time they watch your videos, it heightens interest and desire on there. And the second time they see your video, you create familiarity with them. You've got their undivided attention in a medium that not too many people are doing that's outside of the box, bringing them information that's important to them. Remember, if we're sending somebody these time-saving videos, we're saying, hey, your loan is now in processing. What that means is X, Y, Z, right? It's important information that they care about. So they're watching and engaging your videos no different than you watching 2.5 Men because there's something that you actually care about on the other side of that video screen. So those 7 touches that would generally cost you a lot of money and a lot of marketing dollars and a lot of marketing exposure, you can get real easy with one person or even a prospect or a real estate agent and all that, which we'll go through here right towards the end, and pass that 7-touch rule faster than anything ever been invented ever. And, 7-touch rule creates that familiarity like I was telling you about. When someone sees you on the video over and over again, you can't help but feel like they know you. They've seen everything about you. They've done everything but shake your hand, give you a hug, and kiss you. Right? You cannot get closer to somebody other than the real experience than you can video. And because of that, it creates a tremendous amount of familiarity. The next thing you can do to create, you can use to communicate using video, is framing. See, you can frame questions a certain way, interactions a certain way to get your clients thinking a certain way to where they understand the context of what you're doing. For example, hey, thank you for filling this application out. I've attached to this email where you got this video from a list of documents that I need to get from you immediately. If not, we cannot move forward. That's a lot better framing than saying, hey, I've attached some documents here. I need to get those from you. You see what I'm saying? We've given them specific instructions and framed the exact actions they should take to get those documents over to us immediately and told them the consequences of what happens if they don't get those documents over to us. And that's framing. And you can use video to communicate, largely doing that same thing is you're framing what they're next to. When I gave you the applying for a mortgage video script there, we're framing them to get the stuff back and to watch the next video that you send. So it's an effective way to communicate using video. And the last thing is you're giving them important information. You're sharing these, for example, the time-saving videos. You're sharing them. And you know what? I just realized that in the list of videos to make, I left one out. I'll hit that back in a second once we finish with this slide. I can't believe it's my fault, ladies and gentlemen. But you're sending them the important info that they need, which engages them and entices them to want to watch the next video because it's information about their situation. I told you I had allergies. So real quick on what types of videos do I make, I left this one out, the emotional videos. And what an emotional video to me is a testimonial. But you've got to be strategic about a testimonial because if you live in Dallas, you can watch a certain mortgage company on TV and they have customers on there and they look like they just died or seen a ghost or whatever. And they say things like, Ryan Stewman helped us get our loan on time even though we had challenged credit. And you got them, right? I mean, they're froze up because people get nervous and the thrill of the moment's past. So here's what you're going to do to get an emotional video right now. Well, this is some really slick stuff, right? So pay attention. I'm sorry for leaving this out just a second ago. An emotional video is a testimonial, but here's how you go about getting a testimonial. Nobody wants to stand in front of the camera and go, I used Ryan and everything came as expected. Right? Well, there's nothing, that's so lukewarm, it's unreal. There's nothing exciting about that. But here's what's up. We've all got that customer that's been sleeping in a U-Haul, that's already had their contract turned down somewhere else, right? You're the last chance they've got. You've got the clear to close. They're about to move in. And when they go to the closing table, those are the closing table closings that you show up at. Here's why. As soon as they sign the papers and the world has fallen off their shoulders and they feel, oh, thank God, man, we own a house. Yes, we own a house. That is your chance to get in front of them and go, hey, real quick, let me get you on video and tell us what it feels like to own a house for the first time. They're going to say things like, oh, my God, we were stressed out. We were living in a U-Haul. The jerk loan officer that got with us before Ryan, thank God we found Ryan, but the jerk loan officer that got with us before Ryan had us living out of a hotel. We were almost out of money. We were about to forfeit the contract and lose our earnest money. And then Brian came through, super loan style, closed the thing up, took care of us. Oh, my God, I feel so great. And at that same time, you, the loan officer, can turn around and look at the real estate agent and go, how does it feel knowing that you've helped these wonderful clients close this loan that was almost impossible, right? Not taking the credit for yourself, the loan officer, but appealing to the narcissist inside of the agent. And the agent's going to go, well, you know what? I couldn't have done it without Ryan. Thank you so much for helping us through this and coming through the 11th hour. From now on, I'm going to give you all my business. And at that same time, you turn around and you show the title company too. And last but not least, what did it feel like to finally put this bad boy to rest? I'm just kidding. Title companies don't get video time. Bottom feeders. It is what it is, right? Who's with me on that? I might have made some title people mad, but that's okay. I don't do business with them anymore. So I was just keeping it real from a loan officer friend. So you can make these emotional testimonial videos and then put the headline on there. Lady jumps through the roof after her mortgage payment comes in for the first time, right? Somebody's going to see what that's all about. Come to find out, they're bragging about the first coupon you gave them at the title company. But they're excited, and you caught them in that moment. Another great emotional video is if you hide behind the door, peeping Tom style, after the people move in and I'm just playing. But if you hide behind the door, the front door of the house, right, there's a super key there. There is going to be a way that the builder can let you in if it's a new home, right? So you keep and you hide inside the house. They come through that door after they close for the first time, the U-Haul truck out front, open the front door, turn the video camera, go, and smile. What does it feel like to be able to walk into your brand new home for the first time ever? You'll get the world's greatest video testimonial that you could ever imagine because they're heated, they're hot, they're emotional. That's what triggers it. And the greatest thing is they're going to share that on Facebook with all their friends. And I swear to God, right now, if you call your clients and go, hey, give me 3 people that are thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing their mortgage in the next, you won't get any leads. However, if this person puts your video of you, the agent, and the people that you do business with and go, this is how I roll. What a great team I was able to do business with. Their friends and family are going to see that. And it turns out 64% of people own a home. So if that homeowner that put that video on Facebook only has 100 friends, you've got a potential 64 prospects seeing you. And we're at 51 minutes. I'm talking fast, but y'all can tell I get emotional. That's why I like emotional videos. So in case you still have doubts about video and what to do video, let me put the last few to bed. So you can say, how does this, what you're teaching me, Ryan, attract realtors and investors? Well, I don't know how you can still have that question, but in case you do, you can use everything that I told you for realtors, for investors, for FSBOs, for whatever you're prospecting. But let me show you how you can use it to prospect new people. Now, I gave you an example how to go to the listing with that agent, right? And that's powerful stuff. But video has high SEO, so as agents search for certain things, they'll come across your video. As investors, real estate investors, search for certain things, if you've done your keyword research correctly, you'll find yourself showing up on the front page of Google, and people will be interested because you're that option for them. We know that the front page of Google is a pretty damn good piece of real estate to be on. So that's one way how it's going to attract realtors, investors. If you keyword it right, you're going to show up in the things that they're searching for, and you'll be like, hi, I'm the solution to all your problems, right? The second thing is you've got content for blogs and comments. Now, what does that mean? Now, one of the things that I like to do a couple of times a week is I go visit different blogs. Right, and I'll give you a good one, blog.kw.com, the Keller Williams blog. You can go there, read a post, skim a post. Who's got time to read a whole blog post? Skim a post, and at the bottom, log in and leave a comment, that's intelligent. If it's about, real estate investing or the state of the market, go, you know what, the market's really good in my area. Data shows this, this, and this. Use something smart, and then leave the link to your video in the blog comment. Statistics show that 70% of people skim the blog but read the comment. So you've got a better chance than any of the advertisers. You've got a better chance than anybody else to have your link seen and clicked down there in the comment section. And you just use a YouTube link And that video goes, hey, I love it when people find my comments on blogs and watch videos like this. I've been making videos for 6 months now, and I've got thousands of views, and I'd love to help you if you're a real estate agent or an investor sell your houses using video too. Just simply click the link below. It'll take you to my personal Facebook page, and we'll connect there. How stupid easy is that? And how would it take you 10 minutes a week to write on 10 different blogs and leave that link out there? And guess what? There's that longevity again. If that link's there, it's there forever. So it doesn't matter if someone searches that blog and that term 10 years in the future. Guess what? Your video link's still there. But it better not be the same video up, because that would mean that you're putting fake videos of what you used to look like up, right? Because we're going to continue to grow this. I can't really drive the spike through your head hard enough on that in all reality. It's important that you be authentic in social media and video. It just really is. And because if you saw Kim Kardashian without her makeup on, you'd freak out. It just is. It is what it is. So it's important that you be authentic, right? Because you don't want to hide behind the mask either. The last thing is you can duplicate everything that I've told you on today's webinar for your realtors and investors. Matter of fact, most of the things that I told you were based around real estate agents, where you actually now have leaving this webinar that you've paid nothing for, other than an hour of your time you can't get back, and maybe a few belly laughs that, maybe some milk out of your nose or some beer, depending on where you're at. But other than that, that's all you've spent on this. And you can easily go back out there and go, hey, agent, let me go to that next listing with you. Hey, man, let me go out once a week, Mr. Investor, and we'll film the progress of your house, and then we'll do one of those sped it up, which you can do for YouTube for free. We'll do one of those speeded up videos where it looks like we went and fixed the house in 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, that'd be really cool. I like those videos. Yeah, sounds really cool. The only problem is you got all the video makers out there going, they took our jobs. I'm just saying, I had to throw that in there. I've always wanted to say that on the webinar, so it just happened to be you guys. So, again, I just want you to know that duplicating this process is stupid easy. Stupid easy. And it's something that you can hang up this webinar when I'm done, not right now, but as soon as I'm done, you can hang up on this webinar. And you can put this stuff into action immediately, assuming that you're not a chicken shit, and assuming that you've bought into the legacy, the longevity, the SEO, and the reasons why you should do this. And I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. I've given you about an hour and 45 minutes worth of content because I talk like the Micro Machine guy. For those of you that are 80s babies, you've been able to get it in about 55 minutes. And you want to say, okay, Ryan, what else? What's next? You've told us all this stuff. What did you do this for? Here's what's next. If you want to know more stuff about this and you want to talk about your business, you want to talk about what it takes. I've learned in my lifetime being a loan officer and with the multiple clients that I have right now, many of them are top producers. All of them are top producers. Who am I kidding? In their branch, a lot of them in their companies. What I've realized is it's hard to get over that $2 million mark. In Texas, the average home, I live in Dallas again, Texas, the average home price is $180,000 and some change. Let's just round that up to $200,000. If you were going to do $2 million a month, which yields you right now anywhere between $25,000 and $45,000 a month, depending on your pay comp plan and the company you work for. But if you would have to do 10 loans minimum at $180,000, you'd have to do 12. I'm sorry, you'd have to do 11. To be able to hit that $2 million mark, and it's hard to do that in 1 month, turn around, start all over in the next month and do it again, especially if you don't have money for an assistant, especially if you don't have a good processor, if you're sharing a processor with a couple of dumbass loan officers that shouldn't be sharing your processor anyway, right? None of us have ever done that, right? Like, you guys can tell I'm one of y'all. I've been in the industry, right? I don't have to deal with this crap. So the truth is, it's hard to consistently close $2 million. I figured out a secret way to do it. Not a secret. I figured out an easy way to do it. You don't have to buy new stuff. You don't have to go learn a new software. You don't have to buy things from somebody who's not currently implementing the same exact strategies right now. I tell you what, myself, I haven't had a loan officer license since 2010, and I promise you I close 5 loans a month still. I just give them out in referrals to loan officers that I know. I'm heavily involved in this, and the reason why I say this is if you're ready to step up and continually close $2 million a month, or at least you want to know what it's going to take to get there, I'm going to offer you something for your time here. Actually, I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit too, but I'm going to offer you something for your time here on this webinar. If you like what you heard here and you'd like to know a little bit more, you can simply go to Free Strategy Sessions. My assistant left the S out there. It's freestrategysessions with an S.com. It's www.freestrategysessions. That's with an S. Sorry about that there. Like I said, our PowerPoint that we had fixed up is bye-bye for right now. But freestrategysessions.com will take you right there. Fill that form out. If you want to talk, me and you'll get on the phone. We'll talk about your business. And you know what? On the call, if I think you're a fit for what we've got, I'll make you an offer to see if you're interested in working with us. We've got several different products. If you are a fit, great. If you're not, no big deal. I appreciate your time on this webinar. There's a couple things you can do for me. You can go to my Facebook page, and this is my personal page. I will accept all of your friend requests. It's ryan.stuman, facebook.com/ryan.stuman. Leave a comment on my wall. Tell me you enjoyed the webinar. Tell me I suck. But Ryan, you talk too fast. You sound like shit. Get off of the damn webinars. Don't ever do them again. Whatever the case may be, just leave me some feedback on there. It's facebook.com/ryan.stuman, STEWMAN. And if you want to, go ahead and fill out the freestrategysessions.com form, and you and I will talk about your business and how you can get to that next level and what it's going to take and how I can help you. And the way that works is once you fill out that form, you'll get an email from my assistant, Lindsay. It'll come from Lindsay at postuser.com. She's a very good-looking blonde woman, so I highly recommend you respond to her email, especially for you gentlemen out there, right? You want to make sure that you get back in touch with her so that she can schedule up a time for you and I to actually spend about 30 to 45 minutes on the phone talking about your business. And that's really it. Go there, fill out the free strategy session. There's no cost for anything. And a matter of fact, for those of you that go there and fill that out, I'm going to give you a free copy of my latest book, which is right now Video Marketing for Loan Officers. It's a 29 or 39 pages book that's full of content, scripts, and everything that you need to right now immediately start using in your video process. I've given you all 6 steps in the scripts to go along with them and everything else. So it's a great book that a lot of my clients have implemented and got thousands of views from. So just for going and filling out the form at freestrategysessions.com, I'm also going to give you that book for free. And make sure you check your email from Lindsay. So with that being said, we're right at 1:57, which means I ended exactly on time. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming here. Don't forget to go to facebook.com/ryan.stuman. Send me a friend request right on my wall. But even if you don't do that, make sure that you start making videos immediately. If you don't go to my free strategy sessions, if you don't do any of that, just make sure you start doing videos immediately. And the last thing I'm going to say before we leave is all of this that I told you today is wonderful, brilliant, great information. It's been proven, tested, and highly effective. And it will bring tremendous amounts of business and wonders and amazement to your job and to your paycheck. But if you don't implement anything I said today, not a damn thing will happen for you. You will never see success without action. So the equation works like this: knowledge plus only success equals action. So you could be the smartest person in the world. We all know somebody who's really smart, and we say has great potential, but he has nothing. So the key to everything I taught you today is taking action, whether that be taking action, making videos, taking action, getting in touch with me. The bottom line is you must take action. So I'm going to say this and we're out. Go do something. Have a great day, y'all.